Let's continue with the review for major test 1. Let's go over rules for answers. We need 3 significant figures as your answer. Also, you can give the answer the exact value or the full calculator display like this. Now let's go to 6a. The histogram shows the time t minutes that it takes the customers of a restaurant to eat their lunch on one particular day. Each customer took less than 25 minutes. The histogram is incomplete and only shows data for t between 0 to 20. Write down the mid-interval value for this interval. So we do 10 plus 15 divided by 2. Get 22.5. The mean time it took all customers to eat their lunch was estimated to be 12 minutes. So that's mean time is 12 minutes. It was found that key customers took between 20 and 25 minutes to eat their lunch. Write down the total number of customers in terms of K. From this histogram, we can get the frequency for each interval. This is 10. Here's 8. This one will be 5. And this one is 10. Suppose this is a K. Therefore, we have 10 plus 8 plus 5 plus 10 plus K equals 33 plus K. Then it said calculate the value K. We have to use this given information, 12 minutes. Since this is a continuous data, you have to figure out the mid-interval value, which means midpoint. This will be 2.5, 7.5, 12.5, 17.5. Then it's 22.5. Therefore, you do the 2.5 times 10 plus 7.5 times 8 plus 12.5 times 5. Add 17.5 times 10 plus 22.5 times K divided by 33 plus K equals 12. Then we work this out. First of all, we add all this together except 22.5K. You will get 322.5 plus 22.5K over 33 plus K equals 12. If you have a division line, try to use cross multiply. Do the cross multiply. Don't forget to do the distributive property for this 12. So you get 322.5 plus 22.5 K equals 12 times 33, that's 396 plus 12K. This is a linear equation. Isolating, that's the keywords. So put the all variable this side, number the other side. Don't forget change the sign. So you have 22.5K minus 12K equals 396 minus 322.5. You will get 10.5K equals 73.5. Then you do division both sides. You will get the K equals 7. Then for 6D, hence complete the histogram. we will get the 7 is here. Yeah, that's it. For number 7, consider the numbers, this one, and the set. This is a natural number, integers, and a rational number. Rational number means I can write down the fraction. And a PQ, both integers. When you have this kind of question, always get started from the smaller set. Natural number, that's the smallest one. So check natural number here. The rest of them, it will be cross. If it's a natural number, definitely it will belong to both integers and a rational number. Then you check this integers. Integers, definitely -5 is integers. So these two. And it won't be the integers for this. For rational numbers, I need a fraction. Yeah, this is a fraction. Pi is irrational. You cannot change it into fraction. Square root of 3 is irrational. For the rational number, let's make it clear. As long as it's a fraction, definitely it will be rational number. Or you have a decimal, it's a limited number after decimal. For example, like 1.4678, we stop. Or any like 1.23 times 10 to the negative 13th power. Or you have 1.464646, keep going. This is all rational numbers. Like a pi, you have 3.14. I don't know what's the next number. It's not predictable. That's the reason it's irrational. Let's go to 8a. A transportation company owns 30 buses. And the distance that each bus has traveled since being purchased by the company is recorded. The cumulative frequency curve for this data is shown below. Write down the interquartile range. That means you need to get the third quartile minus the first quartile. Altogether is 30. Divided by 2, this will be the median. Then half. From 0 to 15 is 7.5. It's here. Then from 15 to 30, you will get the 22.5. Then we will draw this line, horizontal line, cross this point. Then going down. Yeah, it's here. You need to pay attention to the scale. From 0 to 5,000, that is 10 units. You divide it by 10. Each one will be 500. So we have 15,000. I add 500 times 2. You will get 16,000. This will be the quartile 3, the third quartile. Now let's go to the first quartile. it's this point. So going down, that's 10,000. So we have 16,000 minus 10,000. You will get 6,000. This will be the interquartile range. For the 8A, they need the upper quartile. That will be 16,000. And 8B, we need an interquartile range. That's 6,000. For 8C, write down the percentage of buses that traveled a distance greater than the upper quartile. As we know, we have this whisker plot, for example. And each part, it will be 25%. 25%. We are looking for the percentage of buses that travel a distance greater than the upper quartile. This will be the upper quartile. This will be the lower quartile. This is the median. So from upper quartile to this maximum, that's 25%. For 8D, find the number of buses that traveled a distance less than or equal to 12,000 kilometers. Now find 12,000. Each one is 500. So we need 12,000. From here, I do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's here. This will be 12,000. And then I go up, it's here. Then I go to draw the horizontal line. Let's figure out the scale. This is a 5. 5 divided by 10. Each of them is 0.5. So 10 plus 0.5 times 2, that's 11. This will be 11. For 8E, now let's go to 8E. It's known that 8 buses travel more than m kilometers. Find this m. When you say more than, you have to be careful. That means from 30, I need to minus 8 to get the 22. So here's a 22. This is a 20, 21, 22. It's here. Then you need to get this point going down. It will be here. When you have this graph, always write down the scale. That means for each unit stand for how much. This is a 500. This one is a 0.5. Therefore, it will be between, this x will be between 15,000 and 500. Less than 15,000 plus 1,000. In other words, just pick up any number between these two. Let's choose the middle number, 15750. So when you have the interval, choose the midpoint. That's good enough. You can do this. divided by 2. So that this will be your answer. For 8F, you are given the smallest distance and also the longest distance. We need to draw a box whisker diagram. Use a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 5,000. We need to figure out the median first. Median, that's 15. From 15, go here. You could say it's here. In other words, we from 10,000 add. Each one we know that's 500. We multiply 7. You will get 135,000. Now you will label this is a 0, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000. Then 25,000. Minimum value, that's 2,500. So it's here. Maximum, that's 23,000. Let's talk about the scale. 5,000 divided by 10. Each small one, that's a scale, is 500. Where you can find 23,000. This is 2,000. We just need 3,000. You divide it by 500. You will get 6. So just count 6 is here. That means 23,000. For the first quartile, that's 10,000. Easy to locate. The upper quartile is 16,000. You will get over here. You add 1,000 to 15,000. For median, that's 13,500. It will be located. We do 3,500 divided by 500. You will get 7, which means from 10,000, I add 7 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's here. This is the one, the median. So we draw the box now. This will be the whisker diagram. Let's go to 9A. A survey was conducted of the number of bedrooms in 208 random chosen houses. The results are shown in the following table. State whether the data is discrete or continuous. Definitely it's discrete because you cannot have 1.5, 1.2 bedrooms or 14.3.7 houses. Then for 9B, write down the mean number of a bedroom per house. But since we are looking for the standard deviation, we just use a calculator to show the answer for standard deviation and also the mean. You put the data into L1, L2. Remember, since we are looking for per house, the house we put the L2 for the frequency. Then you go to Stat Calculate. Remember, this is a one variable statistics. For the frequency list will be L2. Then calculate. They give you the mean that is a 2.73. Remember 3 significant digits. And standard deviation is this one, 1.34. For 9D, find how many houses have a number of bedrooms greater than 1 standard deviation above the mean. 1 standard deviation, that's 1.34 above the mean. You add a mean 2.73, you will get 4.07. That means you have 5 and 6 bedrooms. So 15 plus 8, your answer will be 23. That's for 9D, 23. Let's go to 10A. This is a histogram, shows the weight of a number of frozen chickens. So we need to find the total number of chickens. We will write down the frequency first. Before we do that, remember we need the scale for the x-axis and the y-axis. This will be 0.1 because 1 divided by 10. This will be 5 divided by 5 equals 1. So this is 8, 24, 50. That is a 14. We add all this together. 8 plus 50 plus 24 plus 14. You will get 96. Write down the model group. Model group, that means mode. Happens most. Definitely this one. So we write down W greater than equal to 3 less than 4. For 10C, Gabriel chooses a chicken at random. Find the probability that this chicken weighs less than 4 kilogram. Less than 4, that means all this part. So we add 50 plus 24, add 8. Altogether, we know that's 96, so divided by 96. Then you put into a calculator, you will get 0.854. For 11A, 200 people were asked the amount of time T they had spent in supermarket. According to this table, we know this is a continuous data because the T can be any number between 0 to 10. 11B, state the model group means mode. That's a T between 20 to 30. Write down the midpoint of the interval. 10, here's 20. So 10 plus 20 over 2 equals 15. Use your graphic display calculator to find an estimate for mean and standard deviation. Since this is a continuous data, remember when you put into the graphing calculator, you have to use the midpoint for each interval. This is a 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. That's how you put into L1. Then the number of people, put the L2. Then go to calculate. This is a one variable statistics. Remember your frequency least is L2, so that you can get the mean that's 21.5. The standard deviation is this one, 9.21. For 11E, this is a cumulative of frequency. We need to figure out this Q and R. According to this frequency table, we could say 173, we need to add 21. That is 194. Then you add 6. You will get the 200. Therefore, Q equals 194. R equals 200. For 11F, on the graphing paper, draw the cumulative of frequency graph using the scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 minutes. For vertical axis, 1 centimeter to represent 10 people. Suppose my graph, each one is 1 centimeters. Therefore, I will set up the scale like this. Since this number means upper class boundary, we get started from 0. Then 10, you go to 23. Then I connect this. Then 20, we go to 80. Here. 30, you go to 173. Here. Then 40, you will go to 194. And last one, 50, we go to 200. Here. Now from the graph, you need to figure out the median. So 100 here. This will be the median. You could see that's 20.5 or 21. Let's do 21 here. Second one, 90 percentile of the result. That means 200. You multiply by 90%. You will get 180. So 180 is here. Go down. You will get 35 from this graph. Number 3, the number of people who shopped at a supermarket for more than 15 minutes. This is a 15 here. More than 15 minutes. That means from here to here. We could say mine, this one is 55. Then 200 minus 55, that is 145. Remember, whenever see the more than, most probably you need to do the subtraction like this.